All right, we gotta talk. Where'd it go? Oh man, now my throat's all dry. All right, A7S III, amazing camera. Freaking love this camera. S-Log3, don't like. Let's talk about it. I'm not sure which one to hold right now. Maybe I'll just... Okay. So I've had the A7S III for nearly a week now, and it's been just so much fun to use. The 10-bit colors, the 4K 120, it's just amazing. Flip out screen, just so much fun. But the last couple of videos that I posted were kind of just test videos. I wanted to see how it would perform in low light, and it did okay. Like the first video that I shot with the A7S III, Dallas Nights, I shot that in S-Log3, hold on, what was it? S-Log3, and I mainly use ISO 3200. Now on the camera it looked good, but in post, I saw a lot of noise, and I was kind of surprised because I'm like, isn't this supposed to be the low light king? There were some shots that were just totally clean and looked really good, and that was only when my friend was in front of the big window. But when my friend wasn't near those big lights, like particularly in the water fountain scene, like there was some noise. Also, I filmed in 4K XAVC S 4K, and that was very taxing on my computer. And I have a 2018 MacBook Pro, which is becoming really old. Well, it's not that old, it's just, I just need a better computer. Regardless, it was very taxing on that computer and took me a while to edit and color grade it. Still, it was pretty noisy at 3200, which was really surprising. Even up close, I noticed that there was a lot of over sharpening in that footage. And you can see all that sharpening junk in this clip right here. Again, not so bad when my friend was near the window with a lot of light, like that looked really clean. But in the scenes where we weren't close to those lights, the footage looked pretty noisy. I did some further investigating and shot in S-Log3 during the day, and as expected, the footage looked really clean and really handled the highlights really well. First time vlogging with the A7S III, shooting in S-Log3, f8 and ISO 160, I believe. And yeah, just kind of testing out the dynamic range of this guy. I'm also gonna pick up some stuff at my mailbox, so might as well just kill two birds with two stones, right? Am I right? Am I right? But I wanted to shoot in low light again, and so I took the A7S III and I went to a park with my family and filmed a bunch of shots with different settings, and still found that ISO 3200 was pretty noisy in S-Log3. Most of the shots were actually really good, especially between ISO 160 and 800, I believe. But once I moved up to ISO 1600, I started to see some noise. I kept pushing the ISO up, and at ISO 10,000 it looked really nasty, but at ISO 12,800, it actually looked pretty clean. Like, you can still see some of that sharpening junk, especially in the shadows, but as far as noise level overall, ISO 12,800 was a lot cleaner than ISO 3200. Crazy. All right, this is ISO 1600, this is what I see. This is ISO 12,800. This is what the camera sees. So then I shot in S-Log2, and the image was way, way cleaner. There was actually a few more picture profiles that did really well in low light. Picture profiles like HLG3, Cine 4, and even not using any picture profiles at all. Like, I tweaked it where the saturation and contrast weren't so much, but at least you weren't able to see any of that noise when shooting in low light. Now, I'm not trying to say that S-Log3 is a bad picture profile. It's not. It's great, especially when you're shooting in bright conditions. S-Log3, to me, handles the highlights the best, better than S-Log2, I think. But when it comes to low light situations, then S-Log2 is going to handle shadows a lot better, and you're not going to see any of that noise. You might have to turn down the sharpening in the A7S III if you don't want to see that sharpening junk in your footage, so just keep that in mind. But in my 1 week experience with the A7S III, S-Log3 does not perform well in low light. And before you go into the comments and be like, you suck, you don't know what you're doing, calm down, chill. I'm just sharing what I know as I discover new things about this camera, so just chill. Or better yet, just go grab a goldfish and just boom. So anyway, that's the video I wanted to make today and wanted to share my thoughts on S-Log3 on the Sony a7S III. And if you were one of the lucky ones to grab this camera, then let me know what kind of findings that you've discovered and then share whatever you have in the comments below. But that's it for this video. I just wanted to talk about how much I don't like S-Log3 on the a7S III. I do like S-Log2 a lot though. I think that might be my picture profile to use from this point on. Maybe HLG3. But then again, I really like no picture profiles at all. So I don't know, still discovering things about this camera. Anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for hanging out, and how did that happen? Anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next one.